Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about its... Actually, you know what? Let's talk about it. Dungeons & Dragons' greatest competitor, Candela. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this language. Candela Obscura. All right. Why is Candela Obscura Dungeons & Dragons' greatest threat today? All right. It's a really good question. So first of all, here's my supposition. Candela Obscura is coming to defeat Dungeons & Dragons. I've already heard it. Like, it only took one day for somebody to come in the comments and go, Scott, Candela Obscura is not competing with Dungeons & Dragons. It's a completely different game with a completely different audience. Bull crappity. Like, you could not be more wrong if you made a wrong sandwich, cut it with a wrong knife, put wrong sauce on it, had some wrong some slices of wrong cheese and a whole bunch of wrong meat on it. Wrong! Right? Like, if you don't know, Candela Obscura is absolutely a major tooth and claw, fangs out, right? Like, claw, bite, tail attack threat to Dungeons & Dragons. No two ways about it, right? Why? Because it was built that way? No. The person who came up in my comments and said, Scott, Candela Obscura is its own game. It's not trying to compete or unthrone D&D. Don't matter what Critical Role meant. Doesn't matter what the game designers meant. All that matters is the world. The world is saying, Candela Obscura, please, for the love of goodness, free us from the awesome of Dungeons & Dragons. We are out here on the OSR lines. We are out here on the indie lines. Our only hope is Kelsey Dion. Shadow Dark ain't gonna do it. You've got to do it, Taliesin Jaffe, right? You've got to do it, Spencer Stark. You have to defeat Dungeons & Dragons for us. And that's what matters. Doesn't matter what the game designers intended. Doesn't matter what the owners intended, right? It matters what the world puts on the shoulders of Candela Obscura. And you know what the world put on the shoulders of Candela Obscura? Beat Dungeons & Dragons. Beat it. Unthrone it. Defeat it. Put it in the dirt. That's what matters. That's what matters, right? Doesn't matter what Critical Role meant for it. Doesn't matter what Taliesin Jaffe meant for it. Doesn't matter what Spencer Stark meant for it. What matters is the character sheet on comicbook.com. Matters what Professor Dungeon Master thinks. Matters what Ginny D thinks. Matters what Bob Worldbuilder thinks. Matters what actual influencers think. And those influencers want a new champion, which means Candela Obscura, you're up, baby. Your job is to unseat Dungeons & Dragons. Good luck, right? Let's get to it, right? So that's the entire point of this video is what did they do right and what did they do wrong? Let's kick it in. What did they do to defeat Dungeons & Dragons? They've done one thing that is way better than Dungeons & Dragons right now in Candela Obscura, right? The character sheet. You know, I'm running Lego D&D, 1 hour D&D, right? And I'll tell you, it hurts me to look at a Dungeons & Dragons character sheet anymore. It is utter garbage. The thing looks like a tax form, and it is absolutely horrifically bad, right? You don't know, like, you wanna know a thing, change it, right? Like, because I'm doing hard work to make Dungeons & Dragons fast, accessible, and a source of incredible joy and transformative life energy, right? And I'll tell you right now, nothing strips that joy away faster than looking at that horrible Dungeons & Dragons base character sheet. It is so bad, and it just looks like a tax form. That is not the case on the very extremely well-designed Candela Obscura character sheet. Now, first of all, did Spencer Stark do that? Did the game design team for Candela Obscura? No, John Harper did that, man. That thing looks amazing, and the character sheet looks unbelievably amazing, unbelievably exciting. It draws you in right into the world right away and says, we got something fresh, cool, and exciting for you, right? Check this out. And just this beautiful design milieu, 100% stolen from John Harper, and that's totally okay that they stole it. You can't copyright a character sheet design. The only problem though is I really think Critical Role did a huge job by not just hiring John Harper. Like, honestly, again, like, there are these there's these sleeping krakens in the tabletop role playing game scene that, thank God, Critical Role and oh my gosh, thank goodness the orc people and thank goodness Paizo can't recognize talent when they see him, right? The idea that Ingrid Bernal over on Index Card RPG, thank God nobody realizes that dude. He is a Kraken that could break the world. If anybody set him at the task of defeating Dungeons and Dragons with a company that had millions, like Paizo, and actually, well, I'll tell you right now, Critical Role is a lot more powerful than Paizo. And, has more millions to spend, in my humble opinion, right? And so, thank God nobody has figured out that, because Dungeons and Dragons be in real trouble if anybody actually hired John Harper or Ingrid Bernal. But nobody's gonna, right? The brilliant remain hidden. That's for sure. That is for sure, right? And so, the brilliant character sheet design on Candela Obscura is, without question, massively better than Dungeons and Dragons. And so, actually, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going to give you it did this wrong. Candela Obscura, it's coming for D&D. If you don't understand that, you're not paying attention, right? And it doesn't matter what Critical Role's intention was. It doesn't matter what the designer's intention was. January 2023 was a hinge in tabletop role-playing game history, and it is daggers out against D&D now. So people are looking for a hero, and they're going to put Candela Obscura in the position to be that hero. That's just a fact, in my humble opinion, right? So that's where we are, right? That's where we land, and I will say, Candela Obscura it's actually getting me interested, right? It's getting me interested in a few things. I'm having a hard time looking away from it. I'm almost certainly going to watch it. And I'm very close to downloading the quick start play, the quick start rules. This is interesting, right? I do not want Dungeons & Dragons to not have competitors. I want it to stop having competitors that do nothing and claim they've done better. That's what I'm trying to stop, in my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.